अस्सलाम वालेकुम।
वालेकुम सलाम। कैसे हैं आप?
ठीक हूँ, आप
ठीक
कैसे
है,
हैं?
मैं भी ठीक हूँ। तो लास्ट टाइम देयर वाज all of the sudden shutdown of the light,
Yeah,
so we are just going through this, and we were at the middle of that lesson. So we are just
right.
going to complete that one very quickly. It's a very interesting and very
Okay,
important. Lot of things are very
right,
much relevant to that. So that's why it's a we are just going to share all those slides very quickly, and we will come to the point where we have left all of a sudden that was all of the what we can say shutdown of that electricity.
right, right,
Anyhow, so I am just going to starting from this. So this was the topic we were talking about that. So inequalities and number properties in data sufficiency. So we were talking about the two statements that either these statements are sufficient for the solution of that type of the question. The question was very simple that if x is greater than y. So the step one was
right,
that we'll have to jot down all the possibilities of inequality. The first one was that the is question. So is mean that definitely we are looking for instantly yes or no. So
right,
for that purpose, we have talked about all the possibilities that there are three possibilities about a number. Either it must be greater or it must be less than the other number, or they must be, or what we can say equal. So less than, greater than, or equal. These are the only possible what we can say situations about the numbers when we are talking
right,
about that. Okay, then we were talking about the numbers, the nature of these two variables. And then the step two was that if we have statement one all alone, so what should be the solution? What should be the consequences of that? How can we do this
right,
question? Next is that we are just starting from the beginning. That was the one is greater than the other. So what will happen to that? The statement one was that the sum is greater than the difference. So this was the statement first. So we are evaluating this. We are looking all these things mathematically. We are doing some mathematics, bringing the similar terms to the left, and others are going on the right. So we are getting this. So in this way, y is positive. So from this statement, we can deduce y is positive. So that was our what we can say conclusion. So available information that we have talked in detail. So statement one, it seems to be not sufficient all alone, because this is not clarifying all the situations. So we are
right,
eliminating the A and D. And once again, it's a recalling of that. A is the statement one is sufficient all alone, and D includes either A or B. So either one or two. So either mean that they may be used for the solution, but here we have concluded that there is no way to solve the problem of this type of the question all alone when the only one statement is given. So we can get many solutions, and we can come to what we can say there are so many situations about the value of x and y. So anyhow, so we have only three choices. So we are just proceeding to the third step. So this was, I think, so we were talking about that. So we will have to talk in detail. So up till the second two steps, we have talked. What I mean to say, we were discussing a lot of things in detail. So this was the point where we have what we will have to start. So statement two is that this is the time to evaluate statement two, that is the sum is less than their negative sum. What I mean to say, so this is the mathematical expression x plus y is less than the negative x plus y. What I mean to say that this simply we can say the positive sum of two numbers is less than the negative sum of the same two numbers. Are you getting what I'm saying?
yeah,
Okay, the only difference is about the positivity and the negativity. That positive sum is always less than the negative sum. So this is a statement. So we will have to analyze that when there are two numbers, and if we are looking for this, that either one is greater than the other. So if we are taking the sum of these two numbers with this condition, then one is greater than the other. That how can we conclude that statement that the sum, positive sum is less than the negative sum? So this is the statement. But it's why I am saying in this detail that you can take any two numbers, you can add them, and then you will get
Yeah.
the sum. And if you are putting the negative sign to the sum, so the situation is just like that, that the positive sum is always less than the negative sum. So this is the situation. Although we are not, what we can say immediately can say that this will be directly true taking any two simple number. But anyhow, we are just going to talk about this. We are evaluating this statement. We will have to make a conclusion over there. So let's see the statement two. So we are starting from here that the sum of the two numbers is less than their negative sum. So simple is this one. And with this, that is x is greater than y. That when we are talking about the two number, one is always greater. If the first number is greater, then their sum is less than their negative sum. So this is the main thing. So that is what I mean to say, that if you're just going to shift this right hand side of inequality, so this will become positive over there. Am I right? Are you
Okay.
getting this?
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure you are with me that
Right.
we are just changing the sign. So the things are shifting over here. Or in other words, you can say we are adding x plus y on both sides just to get rid of this negative x plus y. So when we are adding, so we are getting twice of this. And here we have 0. So 2 cannot be 0. So we are just dividing both sides of the inequality with 2, and we will get the sum is less than 0. Okay, this is the situation that when we are adding these two type of the numbers, that one is greater than the other, then the sum is less than 0. We are getting the negative value. So
Okay.
if x plus y is less than 0, that is a negative sum, what can we infer about x and y? So the question is just like that. Either x is greater than y or y is greater than x, because we are saying that from here we have just concluded that the sum is less than 0. That is the negative. So this is a big question, I think. So we'll have to answer that. So
Okay.
I'm thinking that this time you are blank about this, but you're not in a position.
We can. Well, we were gonna when we said yesterday, it's either it could be two positives, two negatives, or one positive or one negative. And I think we got rid of um, all of them, but at the start we got rid of two positives, if I
Okay,
remember.
okay, okay, okay. Let's see. So what can we infer about x and y? So if we can reach about these statements, then we can say that statement two is sufficient for the solution of these type of the inequalities. Anyhow, possibility one, what you were talking about, that last time you were talking about the different possibilities, that both are negative. Then the possibility second was that one of x or y is positive and the other is negative. Well, absolutely. What is the approach? Look at this, that if we are just thinking about the two possibilities that both are negative, then we are adding the negative number. So definitely we'll get the negative value. Am I right?
Right.
Two negative numbers, uh, although we are adding, but the sign is negative. So if we are considering both the negative x and y, then what we can say that the their sum is also negative number. Possibility
Right.
2, one of x or y is positive and the other is negative. So in this way, so whatsoever we are doing, so one must be greater than the other. The negative number must be what we can say in a magnitude. The greater negative number must be greater of the positive number in magnitude. But that is a negative. So negative number is in value. It's always less than the positive. So what is the approach? Look for a counter example. Pick two sets of values satisfying the condition in statement 2. If one set provides an answer, yes, and the other set provides an answer, no, data is insufficient. What I mean to say, that if we just taking two numbers, one is positive and the second is negative, about the first possibility, it's crystal clear that when both are negative, so we'll get the sum is negative. But here, if one is negative, the other is positive, so we'll have to evaluate this situation. We will have to conclude something about this second possibility. So let's see. Once again, the question is there that is x is greater than y. Statement 2 is the sum is less than the negative sum simplifies as the sum is negative. So both x and y are negative. We are considering first possibility. So we are considering set 1. So both are
Okay.
negative. Both are negative,
Right.
and we have a negative sum. Satisfies statement 2. So if you are just taking the first possibility, so statement is absolutely right. Yes. So in this way, then we can say the statement is true. The statement is true, then x must be greater than y.
Right.
Suppose we are taking the second set of data. Here, x is negative, y is once again negative. We are just alternating what we can say interchanging the values. Once again, we are getting the same negative sum. So
Right.
this set is also satisfies statement 2, that is the sum is less than the negative sum and x is greater than y. So look
Okay.
at this. So in this situation, but we can say that this time we are just replacing this value. Although the magnitude 3 is greater in magnitude, but with the negative sign, this will become lesser. Am I right?
Okay.
Are you getting this?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
although the statements are true, they are satisfying each and everything, but this main question is not what I mean to say, is not getting to the point that this time we are just changing the magnitude and the signs are same, both are negative, so we are getting the same sum, although the things are equal, no difference. But when we are replacing the values, we are interchanging with a negative sign, so this will become lesser than this minus 2 because minus 3 is less than minus 2 always. So x is less than y. Here we have started that x must be greater than y. Yes, it's absolutely right. But when we are interchanging, no, our answer is no. So with a different
Right.
set of the data, we are getting two possibilities. One time we are saying yes, someone is getting this, and at the same time he's saying no. So no and yes. There's a conflict. So statement 2 alone is not also sufficient. But we have concluded from these set of data, two sets of the values. And although these values are satisfying the given statement, but here our main question is not what we can say true.
Yeah.
One time we are getting with this set of data,
It's not
yes, and
sufficient.
oh, not sufficient. So eliminate
Right.
choice B. B was that statement B, statement 2 alone is sufficient for the data sufficiency. So now choice is narrowed down to C or A. Okay, are you getting me
Okay.
this? So We have
Yeah.
eliminated three choices. Now we have two out of five. So C or E. Choices narrow down to C or E. One positive and one negative. So once again, we have this possibility that both are negative and the one positive and one negative. Look at this. Set 1. We are just supposing that one value is negative and the other is positive, as you can see over here. So sum is minus 1. So look at this. The sum is once again negative, satisfying the statement 2.
Right.
And satisfy statement 2, and yes, x is greater than y. So 2 is always greater than minus 3. Okay. Step 2, set 2, if we are just alternating the values, so we have the choice, we will get the same answer. But here once again, what we can say, this minus 2 is less than plus 2. So
Right.
answer is just like that. The set, so this set also satisfies the statement, although, but no, once again, x is less than
Yeah.
y. So there is a contradiction. What we can say, that we are looking for the definite answer. Either we should say yes or no, but at the same time, we are getting both the answers. So one way we
Yeah.
are saying yes, and the next is no. So evaluating one positive and one negative is not needed, as we have already proved insufficiency when both x and y are negative. We have done it only to illustrate how to evaluate such a case. What I mean to say, this was all the explanation. So step 4 is, let's combine data from both the statements. Okay. So up till now we have done this, that the statement 1 is not alone sufficient, and second is all alone is not sufficient. So what we will have to do, we will have to combine, we will have to consider both the statements at the same time. So is x is greater than y? The question is same. One is the statements together. We are just combining these two statements. What I mean to say, the sum is greater than the difference. That was the first statement. And the
Right.
second statement was the positive sum is less than the negative sum. What I mean to say, very simple. The sum is greater than the difference of these two numbers, and the sum, positive sum, is less than the negative sum. Then we can say that this x must be greater than y. Look at this gist of statement. What I mean to say, that y must be greater than 0. What I mean to say is y is greater than 0. Gist of statement 2. Are you getting this? That y is greater than
Yeah.
0? From this one, this is a statement first, that x plus y is always greater than their difference. So y must be the positive. What I mean to say, if you are putting the negative number over here, so once again you will reach at this. So this will not be satisfied. So that we will
Right.
have to take y always positive. So y must be positive. And if this x is greater, then it also must be positive. But just two statement, that the sum is less than. When we are adding two number, their sum must be negative. What I mean to say, their sum must be negative. Take it together. If we are just getting these two statements, these two conclusions, that y must be positive and their sum with the x must be negative. So what we'll have to do? So y is positive. From here we must say that y by all means that must be positive. So x plus y is negative. So when we are adding x plus y, we are adding
Right.
y to the other number, that must be negative. So x
Right.
has to be negative. So in this way, so y is positive, x plus y, sum is negative. So y is positive from these two statements, that y must be positive. Then what we can say, that their sum is negative. So x has to be negative. X has to be negative. So if y is
Sounds good. Yeah.
positive and x is negative, so x is less than y. Answer definite no. We can say our answer is no. Is x is greater than y? No. We should say if we have these two statements, so if y is positive and x is negative, so x must be less than. So statement together are sufficient. So what we can say that if we are taking the two statements, so we are reaching a clear-cut answer. We are not looking for
Yeah.
yes. We are looking for any yes or no. So from here, if we are taking the both the statements, this one and this one, and we are just getting the key point gist of the statement one is always saying that y must be greater than 0, and statement 2 is clarifying that their sum must be less than 0. If sum is less than 0, then y is positive in both the cases. If y is positive, then we can get the sum less than 0. So x plus y is negative and y is positive. So x has to be negative. Are you getting this? So this is key. What I
Yeah.
mean to say that y is positive. Suppose we are saying by these two statements, y is always positive. So x plus y is negative, then their sum is negative. One number is positive. It's by all mean, we will have to take this positive. So this must be negative, then we can get the sum negative. So x has to be negative. So in this way, if x is negative, y is positive, so this will be reversed. Is x is greater than y? No, x is less than y. So your answer is
Right.
that
No.
immediately, definite answer is no. So statement together are sufficient. And if this y is positive and x is negative, so x is less than y, answer definite no. Is there is, so we should say no.
Oh, right.
So statements together are sufficient. So eliminate
Right.
choice E. E was saying that either of these statements. But here we have seen that the two statements, A statement 1 and statement B, statement 2, both are sufficient combined together.
Right.
So answer is choice C. So we have C left. So answer is definitely C. So this is all about that. So the next is that once again I am just going to repeat the that was the we were talking about that I have the book of all those SAT and ACT, and there are a lot of questions. There actually in each and every set of the test, the questions are jumbled up in a sense that first question is about the geometry, the second is about the probability, the third one is about the inequality, then we are coming to the algebra, then we are coming to the ratio, proportion, rates, work, interest, and so many things are mixing together. So what I am looking for that is just a reminder for you. If you can jot down, if you can note on somewhere, so you must send the outlines of your current
Yeah.
syllabus, what you are studying in school. Definitely, you will have to restart your school. When?
It's on Thursday, the first day
Thursday.
back.
Okay, okay, the Thursday. So you must send those outlines. So from there, I will pick all those questions relevant to the single topic. What I mean to say that we'll have to practice all those questions, but in a sense that the topic must be the same for a few days. What I mean to say that all those type of the similar problems must be solved first. That you should come to know that each and everything. So that's why I'm not doing the question from the book. Are you getting me? What I am saying? Is there any
Yeah, I
confusion?
understand.
Oh yes, if you can
Yep, I got
understand,
it.
so you must send the outlines that I must get the topics of your school syllabus, and I must collect all those questions from those two bulky
Right.
books together, put them. That we will master something. That if they are talking about if you are learning the trigonometry, so you must get all the questions together, and we will talk about that. So this will be double beneficial for you in the long term. What I mean to say, if you are learning this thing early in the what we can say in the evening with me, so definitely the next day you will have to be in school, and we have talked about a lot of things about that topic, and those are also with you, so you can recall, you can uh, put something. What I mean to say, that is supplementary to your regular study also. So in this way, you will learn the
Right.
all those things, because these questions are simple, but they definitely have some technicalities, some gists are there. As you can see, this question was simple. What I mean to say, if immediately you are asked to say that, if you can recall that in the beginning, yesterday, when we were talking about that, so we were not sure about that which statement is sufficient, which is not sufficient, what is the answer. If somebody is all of a sudden asking that is x is y is greater than y, x is greater than y, with these two statements, so we cannot have a quick response unless we will have to analyze all the things. Are you getting this? So the questions are
Yeah.
simple, but we will have to go through the details. That if someone, if you are facing some new questions, so you will have to recall all these things. That these are the consequences when you are putting the sum and this and that. So each and everything is has been. We are talking about all the things in detail. So that's why please send those are outlines. At least one or two topics must be there. So I should go through all those model papers. I must collect all those questions together. We will have to solve those questions. We will jot down all the tricks and the tips and the necessary information and the basic things all together. That must be in a sequence, in a what we can say difficulty level must be in order, that you must learn in a step by step. So this will be double beneficial, that when you will go to school, so you must have something in the evening, and in the next morning the same topics will be discussed over there. So you must
Right.
feel right at the top, that you know already all these things. So if there
Right.
if we are missing over here something, so you can next day you can talk about that, that you were talking about that,
Right.
but you are missing that, so I will have to recall that what is missing, and I must explore something
Exactly.
more. So this is the double beneficial, in the sense that you will take it as a supplementary to your regular study also. So, and in this way, we
Yeah.
will be all together, because it's a mixture of the things are there. I have gone through all those, what I mean to say, the model papers. So they are just mixing the things in this way, that sometime all of a sudden the what we can say, the scenario of the problem is all of a sudden changed, and we will have to recollect our that knowledge or that topic, or what the basic is. So it's very difficult. So after practicing a lot of
Right.
questions, so when you will have to be in the real situation, so you will be in a better position to answer all those questions very quickly. And we'll do that practice also. We will make the arrangement to time bound test, because as a time is a major factor over there. So I will put you to take these practice tests as a time bound, and how much time you are spending, or we are spending to get the correct answer, to mark that. So we will do that after some practicing, after learning all the subjects, after going through each and every detail of the topics which are concerning all about that, which are the component parts of those tests. Okay. So I'm sure that you will work hard that, and I will get the outlines very quickly. Your WhatsApp, what I mean to say, is working, or what I mean to say
Yeah, I
last
got
time.
my phone fixed. I can use WhatsApp
Okay,
now.
okay.
Yep.
So we will communicate with your own number. There we have two number. One is
Yep.
of your mother, and the second one is
Yeah, I'll use my own now. Starting now.
okay,
Yep.
so please communicate through that number. So we'll come to know that this is active one, and we can send some practice question also, and we can get the outline. We should talk about that. But anyhow, it's a good that you have the ID, Zoom ID. So whenever I am just logging on. So I am finding that you are active on that. So the mark is green. So I can just immediately send the request and the response is quick. So no need to go through the WhatsApp immediately if you are just taking the class. Anyhow, thank you very much for today. So we have just completed this lesson. So there is nothing new. So the second, tomorrow we will start a new topic. Okay. So it's a time to say
Okay.
goodbye. Thank you very much.
All
Allah
right.
Hafiz. Allah Hafiz.
God Hafiz.